Welcome into our lives.
And welcome to the Expanders Club podcast.
We're so happy to have you.
Join us as we embark on a journey of deep exploration, soul searching, and asking the hard questions.
With the goal of truly understanding the most aligned, empowered, and purposeful versions of ourselves.
We want to live an extraordinary life, and we're willing to dig deep to find out what it takes.
Buckle up. You're about to meet a new version of yourself, an extraordinary one. I am here with one of my favorite psychics, Christina. If you're new to this, these Ask a Psychic episodes are really special episodes where Christina and I tap into our intuitive gifts to help a guest get answers. And so you will see we have a guest come on today. She has questions. We bring her answers. It's a really fun way for us. We felt like we wanted to pull back the curtain and one, expose what does a psychic reading look like, right? Because we both hear all the time, like, I don't know, I'm scared, I'm not sure. And it's not scary at all. Look at us, we're not scary.
Welcome. This conversation with Manisha is so fascinating. We have the pleasure of working with so many women who are so driven and so like clear on their target, and then they want to just shoot an arrow at that target and sort of get this like laser focus. And I don't know about you, but I find sometimes when I do that, I can miss the diversions. The other
story of my life.
Was that? Yeah. And you know, it's the paradox too of sometimes when you're laser focusing on one thing and you're missing the other opportunities. You also get porous in having too many opportunities that you're laser focused on. It's hard to explain what I mean, but it's that paradox of like, yeah, how do you get clear and go gently and allow yourself to be redirected and then feel the feelings of, well, that's confusing, or why isn't this working? I want to like white knuckle my way through my dreams. And it's just not how the energy works, I find.
Yeah, I think it's like, the human parts of us need a plan, right? Right. At least that's my experience. Like, I want to plan. I want to be able to execute. I know that I can execute. I also in the past I've known that I'm resilient and can push through, but that resiliency has come at a cost for me. And it has proven to me time and time again, because I'm a slow learner, apparently, it has proven to me that resiliency isn't the answer. It's not what is being called for. So can you have a plan, but hold it loosely?
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. And then I find this like master level of offering where it's sort of like holding it loosely and being unattached, and then also watching these parts of yourself that, you know, let me reframe this. Often the spark of interest, the joy, the passion comes online first, where you're like, I want to do this. This feels easy. This feels like breath. Like I'm motivated. I have this spanda, you know, to go, as I say in Sanskrit, like to move forward. Like all of a sudden this burst. And then comes in this part that's like the control part of us, where we're like, well, we're going to manage it perfectly. And if I really want to do this, and this is how it's going to be laid out. And then I'm going to, you know, all the data. And that part is very different than the original spark.
Yes.
And can really get in the way, even though you'd think like working hard, quote unquote, to your goals is helpful. But this master level of offering is sort of like, what if you let go of control after you had the spark and sort of relaxed into when the next spark might arrive on the next right step? And I have an example of this as a client if you want to hear, but I want to hear if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your example. I think that's a beautiful way of putting it. And it's not inactive, right? It's still active, but it's this, I like how you said, like, witness, like watching and witnessing it all unfold and witnessing what the next action is and what parts of you come up versus just like being in it.
Yes.
Like a visual of like, okay, are you stuck in the tunnel and you can't see what's going on, or are you like a little bit of above it looking down and kind of helping direct the path?
Yeah, I love this analogy from my Buddhist teacher that I learned recently, which is, these parts that come up, the controller, even the worries and the feelings that get in our way, those are the clouds in the sky, but we are the sky
Mm,
witnessing.
mm, hmm.
And so how do you move into that place of, yeah, being the sky and watching the storm or the cloud patterns? Um,
I'm experiencing that right now with something, and
mhm.
I'll have much more clarity on it by the time people are listening to this. But I'm experiencing that right now, and although it is the exact place I want to be, right? Like witnessing versus having emotional attachment and riding the roller coaster of what's happening, it's really weird. It's really a weird, uncomfortable feeling to
Spoiler, this is all super weird.
yeah, yeah, fair,
Experience.
fair. But it's really uncomfortable because I certainly in the past, being a CEO, being a leader, running my own businesses, like that's almost like it's almost been an ego thing of like I'm down in it, I'm reactive, I'm solving the problem immediately,
Hmm.
there's emotional attachment, I'm on the goddamn roller coaster
Hmm.
and riding it and I have no idea how to get off. And now it's like, oh, that's really interesting.
Hmm.
Yes, I still need to solve the problem, right? Or take some action on it. But it's almost like my nervous system like can't move.
Yeah.
Like it won't move, even if I want it to. So it's much more, it's in the past where it's been like a whole body thing. Every part of me is involved. It's like, okay, my brain is still involved. I'm still having thoughts about it. And they're not all 100% positive thoughts, right? But there's no emotional attachment to those thoughts. And so overall, my nervous system and my energetic self are very even keeled, which is the goal. It's great. And also, it's just like it's very confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing. It's hard. It's challenging. We're certainly not snake oil sales women who are saying like, take this potion and you'll be free of all of your worries. It's like, no, it's exactly like you said. It's bringing your worries along. It's bringing any roadblocks and becoming aware of them. I think we've talked about this a lot on the pod, which is like we, even as psychics, don't believe in a book of fate. And I get this very clear visual when I'm doing readings and sessions with people of like, wow, there are so many branches on branches
Mm,
of pathways that this can go. And just because you step on a fork in the road, um, it doesn't mean that you have to continue on that path, that you can find either another branch or go, oh, I got to go back to the starting point and try, again and again. I think a lot of times people don't want to feel the potential disappointment that comes with why was I given this new path or why was I given this roadblock? I'm just gonna, climb over it and just,
mhm.
and then okay, a new path is formed, and then you might come up with a different roadblock, just a higher wall, you know? And
Yeah.
um yeah, it's pretty beautiful to watch life unfold and trust that like you're not going to make the wrong decisions, but gosh, wouldn't it be easier if you recognized sooner the signals that you were getting of which paths to follow that were unfolding without knowing, of course, necessarily the destination.
Yes. That's the hard part. I
Yeah.
say something similar in a lot of my conversations with clients. It's like you can't mess this up.
No.
You can't mess it up. Like the end results are going to be the end results. What the work that we're doing together is like, how do we get there more efficiently?
Yeah.
Right? And in an a way that has maybe a little bit more ease and flow and grace.
Yeah.
I think that's the work versus like this fear of like, I'm gonna take the wrong turn, I'm gonna make the wrong decision. It's like you can't really mess it up. Yes, you can make things harder. Yes, you can slow things down, but you're going where you're gonna go. But if you want to do the work to make it more efficient and easier, like let's do that.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's an invitation. And, language is so hard in this type of work. Like, even just saying efficiency, there's a type of person that says, okay, great, efficiency looks like
Mm,
this. And then you take the clipboard out and you're like, these are the steps. But what we're talking about really is when you step back and surrender, again, the paradox that I love, it becomes easier and less roadblocks, therefore more efficient, that you let go of the plan and you follow these ways. And I think that there's a lot of resistance I find in people that I work with and myself too, of like, I just don't want to feel the disappointment
mm,
of if my dream changes, or
Mm,
if I'm so sure about moving to this place and then I get there and I hate it, what do I do with that? You know, and there's inevitably a heartbreak that comes in order to open up to say, okay, well, I'm in the heartbreak of it. Obviously, this wasn't meant to be. And then the question becomes, so what do I do with this?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, with this clear no, you know?
Yeah. And there's a lot of human elements there too, right? When
Yeah.
you commit to something and you tell people and people are watching, you're like, damn, now I have to go back and say I was wrong or this wasn't the right
Yeah.
move, and there's judgment and
Yeah.
um but it's all a lot easier than we make it. And even knowing that doesn't mean that I always make it easy on myself, right? And there's so little control that we actually have,
I know that's
right?
the thing.
We can
Okay, let me give
control,
you this example because I think
yeah.
sorry, did I cut you off?
No, 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 I'm excited to
Okay.
hear
So I have a client, and again, she's like super smart, you know, a consultant, does really well. She has such an adventurous spirit. There's so many things that like really work for her, you know, in terms of the way that she set her life up. But she's starting to find that sort of like quiet whispering suffering of like everything looks okay on paper. So then why am I feeling so restless? And like,
it. Mm,
how do I make my decisions? And I have decision paralysis, but I'm just gonna, you know, go. And she was planning this trip and there's a romantic relationship involved overseas. Like, you know, she's navigating these really complex things with a lot of courage. And she'll get this like hit of like, I'm gonna, she describes it so well. She's like, I see red. I see red and then I just have to bulldoze there because like that's the only way to kind of get to there. And there's like some dopamine addiction, you know, stuff in
mhm,
that of being like,
mhm.
I'm gonna use all this nervous system, like fight or flight energy to see red and go there. And the offering for her, and you know, she sees the steps, she can buy the flight, like she has nothing in the way of like seeing red and going for it. And I said, what if you asked the universe, like, see red, go for it. But then what's the highest level of the master level of offering where you say, okay, universe, if I am not meant to do this and I am blasting through, please make it so
Yes.
obvious and frustrating even for it to not happen.
Yeah.
And so her flight got canceled. Okay. So then she goes, well, I still saw red. So I was like, well, I'll get on a train. I'll go down to another location and I will get on a flight there. So I'll just move my flight to like, you know, where there's not an issue. So she does that. She tries to get on the train, gets delayed and canceled. Waits for another train, gets delayed and canceled. She says, okay, if this happens a third time, I'm just gonna,
Always. Or
yeah,
one more sign.
I'm just gonna take that. Like I hear it, I get it. And yeah, I mean, you can see where this is going.
Hmm.
It got, you know, canceled the third time. And what happened was actually a sense of relief that it wasn't in her control. And she had to
Mm.
have these like, you know, faux pas happen and these almost, you know, she could have like catastrophized it. And instead she played a game. She was like, fine, if I'm not in control and you're in control, then just take it off my plate.
The universe
Literally
was
make me
like,
feel
yeah, the universe
prepared.
was like, don't make me break your legs, lady. Get this message.
Yeah.
I
But if
love
I
that
had told her, you
example.
know, you're not meant to get on this flight, and that's what I see, you know, you couldn't have had that intimacy and that building that relationship with the universe where and feeling the loss of control. Then you're just
Right.
outsourcing your power to what I saw happening as a possibility anyway, right?
Yeah, and I love that reminder. It's all lessons. That
Hmm.
everything that happens is there to teach us.
Hmm.
It's can we slow down and observe it
Yeah.
versus moving on to the next thing. Great, that didn't work. Let me hurry up and move on. I have such a history with that. There's
Hmm.
an obstacle. Great, let me figure out three
Yeah.
other ways around it. And
Yeah.
like a lot of times it works to get through those
Yeah.
obstacles, but like the end result is like, no, this is not, it wasn't supposed to be this hard. This is not where you're supposed to be. You're still out of alignment.
Hmm.
Here come some more lessons.
Yeah. 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 Gosh, they just so get louder and louder. I think one of the things that I've learned over time from suffering, you know, the choices, and again, they're not right or wrong choices. They're just choices, is, you know, the ability to be nimble and pivot
Hmm.
faster with the energy because we're all tapped into the frequency of, you know, the universe.
Yeah.
And the more you go in to your inner wisdom and form that relationship with God, the universe, divine source, the easier it is to just go, oh, okay, packing up my bags again,
Yeah.
going here, I'm being nimble.
And you're so good at reminding people, like the number one thing to do in those situations is just ask. Just ask.
Yeah.
That's what I do for myself. What's the lesson here?
Hmm.
What am I supposed to do in this moment?
Hmm.
Like, what am I not listening to?
Hmm.
The answer comes so goddamn quick, and you're like, frick. Like, a lot of times I'm in a state where I will be completely honest, I'm trying to negotiate with the universe. I don't think that that's gonna work. But it's like, just, I'm not perfect either. And I see, hear, know the truth and where we're going. And I'm just like, but I just need a little more time. If you could just give me a little more time on this, I promise I'm going to get over here.
Hmm.
But I just need a few more months,
Well,
and
there's like we're giggling about it. I think that's one of our superpowers and that we can offer, people listening is like I find also there's such a resistance in this type of profile of women, and we are, I hope it's very clear we're saying we are those women too. Like we really see you ladies or men,
hmm
that why do we have resistance to just being an explorer? Why not feel like I'm going to just try things and it's not going to be that deep and
yeah.
it's not going to be that serious and I'm going to fail maybe and that's okay and then I'll explore something else. I'll try this on. I'll try that on. There's so much pressure to like arrive at a thing and
hmm
have an identity and have a brand, and that's I think what comes up with Manisha is like what is your brand? Like what is your identity? And then I have to like stick with it. And it's like, well, what if you just have a million different identities but you try on each one like
hmm
you're in a beautiful costume closet and roles and then just see what works and what doesn't. And if you try on a role for 10 years, I mean, I have clients that have been in a job for 22 years and it's working. And then they're like, hold on, why am I feeling like I don't want to do this at all anymore? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, what can we play with? Be an astronaut. What does that feel like? Let's feel it. Like this is all pretend. Like just
hmm
play.
Yeah.
And that, childlike spirit and wonder, I think gets so lost in us because we take it so seriously, to arrive somewhere and have the visibility of what we look like to others. And it's like, no, just play, put on your explorer hat, or yeah.
I love that. That's such a great reminder. This is all just a big adventure. And in my best moments, that brings me such a sense of peace
Yeah.
of like, cool, this is another interesting part of this adventure. How's this part gonna go? It's like, can't wait to see. Um, yeah, but it is. It is all just an adventure. It's all like the opportunity to be here on this planet, experiencing the things we get to experience. You know,
Yeah.
let let's
And
have as much fun with it as we can and savor the things that are worth savoring.
absolutely. I love that. And like more practical wisdom too, if I'm thinking like, okay, how can we give like actual steps and a formula towards this? And one thing that worked for me really well is I don't have to be in a silo or a vacuum of just like working alone towards this stuff. One thing that really helped me explore is people, forming connections and saying,
Mm,
oh, I really am interested in this thing that this person is doing. Why don't I take them to coffee and um, be really curious about what they're doing, not from a place of comparison or, anything, but just like, oh, they really spark something in me. Like, I want to learn. And then you learn from that person, and who knows, maybe they open up an avenue for you of like, oh, you need to talk to this person, or oh, did you see this job opening, or have you taken what about this class? And you just do that over and over and keep
mhm.
following the people, because as Mr. Rogers said so wonderfully, look for the helpers. There's always helpers. And maybe it's vulnerable to put yourself out there with a stranger or someone, that you see online, but like again, that connection will happen if it's meant to, and then you'll be able to learn more from people who are doing it or doing a piece of what you're interested in.
Yeah. And I think connection in general, like something I've learned this year as we move to a whole new place and we really put effort into building community and connection, is that like it just makes the human experience so much better. And it
Join
keeps
with
you,
others.
yeah, it keeps you grounded in this experience and appreciative and grateful and adds so much color and richness. Like, and I think right now in a time where there's so much in the broader world and community that we cannot have impact on, have no control over, feels like chaos, like bringing it closer to home and really loving on your people and making the effort in your community with the people around you, I think is what the moment's calling for.
Yeah. Oh, I wish we could put all the people who are listening in touch with each other to
I
find this
know. I
community.
know. Maybe
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah, follow us
Um,
along. And we're
we,
here to support you all. I hope that's clear in our message. And again, we're not meant to do it alone. And, I learn from sessions just as much as I teach. And yeah, it's a really beautiful thing.
yeah, Christina, with that, can you share how people can find you and work with you?
Yeah, if you go to spiritual-curiosity.com, you'll find ways to have one session or do my mentorship program. And I just opened, well, you'll see the next practice or intuition practice circle to join in community and practice this stuff with others.
Yeah, which those sound so fun. I don't know where I'll be in space and time when this comes out, so you guys can find me on Instagram at the underscore Brooke underscore Harris and TBD. Hopefully I'm really leaning into my little sacred pause and enjoying life with a newborn. And I'll be back. I'll be back very soon to take readings and offer support in the ways that I can. Enjoy this episode with Manisha. Check out her. She has a bunch of gifts that she offers. She's intuitive. She's a human design expert. She's just a very lovely, wonderful human, again, offering support out in the world in bigger ways. So I hope that you guys enjoy this episode. Christina, appreciate you always.
Love you, friend, and love you all. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, enjoy. Manisha, hi, welcome to Ask a Psychic. We're so excited to have you today. And I don't usually ask guests to introduce themselves, but you have a really relevant and interesting background. So can you share a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me here, ladies. I'm so excited. So I'm Manisha Datta. I am an intuitive life coach and I wear many different hats, but this is what I love to do with a passion. I help people in finding what their patterns are in life. So if they're stuck with something, I help them in breaking that cycle and getting out of it. And obviously, as all of us, I have a lot of tools in my arsenal. So I pull out human design, or I'll use feng shui, or just like intuitive, just go into their records or just see whatever shows up, whatever they need to hear is what I will pick up at that point. But yeah, what I enjoy doing the most is just helping them break that patterns. And then when they break down, they have those epiphanies is when I'm happy.
Mm,
That's me in a
oh,
nutshell.
love that. Breaking people down. I love
Yeah.
that.
Love
Um, and isn't it so much easier to do it for
Absolutely.
others and to see the patterns of others than for ourselves, speaking from experience here.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you so much for sharing that. We'll link your info so that people can find you and see how to work with you. But can you tell us why you're here today?
Yeah, so I've been doing this work for the last, I want to say now it's 11 years, and started studying before that. I used to be in the corporate space. So when I was 17, I finished my school, jumped into corporate, and, went up the corporate ladder really well, was like heading marketing teams, traveling the world, all of that kind of stuff, and saw great success. And then created a lot of, opportunities and money, and then two babies, and then burnout. And then I was done. So I said, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Stop, sit with my babies at home, and now I'm going to start a business. And I was already into these things, the spiritual, like feng shui and I Ching and all of that. And it's just never ending, connecting with angels and all of that. But I feel like over so many years, I've never seen the same level of success that I had seen in the 10 years in my corporate career. And like you said, like it's easy to see the patterns for others. And obviously, when you're in this yourself, you go through so much. There's so much work I've done, the healing, the breakdowns, the meltdowns. Like it's not easy, the spiritual journey. It's worth it, but it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Curious, like, is there something that still stops me from doing this? Because there's obviously my culture, my background? Like, is there conditioning? Is there anything physical that stops me? Is there past lives? Is there energetics? Like,
Yeah. So to clarify, you're in it, you're doing it, you're executing, you're seeing success, but you're not seeing the level of success that you desire and want and feel that is meant for you. Is that
exactly.
correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
Okay.
define success to you.
Well, that's a good question. So when I say success, I know people love what I do. I know I'm good at what I do. Like I said, like I see people break down and I know I've reached there. I've figured it out for them and I've helped them. So I see all of that. I'm talking specifically monetary gains or people being able to find me. When people find
Mm,
me, they're like, "Oh my God, how come we didn't know you exist?"
hmm.
Because they know the value I'm bringing. So how come more people don't know about me? How come more opportunities are not showing up? How come the same amount of finances are not showing up? Because we live in a materialistic world. So
Yeah.
got to pay the bills
Yeah.
at the end of the day, right? So yeah, that's
So
what I'm.
volume and awareness and the desire to be more public, let's just
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
and then that is a funnel to more work and opportunities.
and money. Yeah.
And yep, then to your perception of abundance. Okay.
Great. Christina, let's tap into the body first because I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a lot. Like I would like to exit my body at the moment. There's a lot coming. Can you tell me what you're feeling, my friend?
Yeah, it's so much, but actually when I asked your body like how can we help, it was like you're carrying everybody. Like there are so
Hmm.
many clients that you are actually picking up in their energy and absorbing into you. I would say like 87% of a lot of the blocks that you're feeling is anchors weighed down by the people that you're caring for. So first it's like what is your energetic hygiene practice? How can you release everyone after one session? What does your process look like for that? Because it needs some fine tuning, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And that's quite a high amount of people. The other thing I'm getting from your body is like you feel like the two children was great, but you could have more. And what's happening is you are in that desire, even though you're not going to have more. I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not seeing that. Um, but you're almost taking on these clients as if they're your babies and nurturing them in a way that goes beyond what is necessary. And because of that, then you're having this sort of like maternal care for your clients and not a boundaried way. And you couldn't possibly have more quote unquote children than you
Mhm.
have right now. And so
Okay,
it's reframing how do I care and love for people and help them, but really detached in a way that's like loving, but not absorbing.
got it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I just have to ask, are you okay? Are you okay? Because I feel this sadness.
Hmm.
And that's what's coming through for me, like so loudly is like they're almost like no one's asked you, or people don't ask you how you're doing.
Yeah.
And you need to be asked, like, are you okay? How are you doing? You need a hug. Um, I'm gonna cry because it just feels like this almost a sadness from the weight and the sadness from always being okay, right? How does that feel to you?
I mean, you're both spot on. Yeah. I literally had a sit down with my whole family last month, and I was like, none of you ask me how I'm doing, and you
Mm,
need to ask me because just because I do what I do doesn't mean I'm always okay, and I'm the youngest in
yes.
the family, so I have to check in from my father all the way to my siblings, and who's asking me? So I had to sit everyone down and give them a sounding.
I'm so glad you did that because same thing that Christina's feeling. It's like how it's almost like there's not space. There's not space for you to expand, for you to bring on more clients, for you to do more, for you to be louder because there's so much happening to you that you're reacting to and supporting.
It's true. You guys are spot on. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're having this tension. We'll go to your spirit now. There's this tension between I want more and I could not possibly actually handle more
Mm-hmm.
in this
Mm-hmm.
moment in time. So, um, we want to align that a little bit more, balance it out. We're not going to open the floodgates to let's just get more and then I'll figure out how to have more, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And this desire for your success is pretty ancient and a lot of pressure coming outside of you that's not really from your highest self. This idea that you have of like work hard, you're basically you're still unwinding all the toxicity from what corporate world is, but you're also trying to have a map to I want success like the corporate world. The first thing your spirit is like, stop saying that to me. I don't want the success from the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the corporate world actually, and we're trying to redo all of this. So the framework of the corporate world, take it out of your mouth. It's a dirty word. It's like what you're
Okay. I love that. Okay.
Yeah, there's a big cleansing and clearing that needs to happen in general. Energetic cleansing and clearing, physical space. I even feel like maybe it's physical space from people, but I feel like there's maybe some cleansing and clearing that can be done in your house, in your physical space that like helps represent you opening up space. And then as you have already sensed it and obviously got to a breaking point, cleansing and clearing space between you and the people that you care for, including your clients, setting up those boundaries with your clients too. And I almost see you on this like hamster wheel too with your work of like grabbing information and tools and knowledge to like verify your abilities.
Okay.
You have skills and abilities,
Hmm.
and then you're grabbing onto every, and not this language isn't exactly right, but there's like a bunch of certificates and tools that you're grabbing onto because like, well, I could help this person with this or I could help this person with this, and it's like clearing some of that out too. Like, yes, you have all this, you don't need any more certificates or any more to learn about any more things. You need to kind of push all that away and say, well, you said very clearly in the beginning what you do. You recognize what you're good at. You're good at recognizing patterns. That's enough.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
is enough. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have to be a human design expert, a Akashic record opener, an X and Y and Z. Like, you can figure out how to tap into those tools that in a way that helps you through your sessions and through your work, right?
Hmm.
But like, I think it needs to be more specific. Like, I help you recognize your patterns, break them down, and build new healthy ones for your most evolved self, whatever it is. But I think some of all that stuff needs to be cleared too, and it feels like it's like this, you're just trying to validate yourself and like make sure people see and understand that you're a professional and you're qualified to do this, but you're qualified to do it because you have the gift and you are helping people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just echo onto that because it was the first thing I felt when I read into your energy is that you have a perception that people aren't finding you, but they are, but they're confused about what you do because you
Mm,
say you do all the things. And so it's not like simple enough. People are like, well, I don't know if I want human design and what is Akashic record and are you a psychic? Are you like what are we doing here? And so I would just remove all of that experience that you have, um, from your copy and go back and just be like, can I just you did such a beautiful job in there when you just said what you did, but you were almost like, and as an aside, I have all these things that I've learned, but that is not the message to put when you share who you are. So that's one direct piece of wisdom. The other thing I'm hearing very clear is interesting is it's your relationship with your holiness. And I don't know why I'm getting that word specifically. I don't
Okay.
know if you have, I'm seeing like an altar, like an altar that
Yeah.
you set up. You have
Mhm.
one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. So the altar is being asked to spend more time with it and refresh what you're putting there and what your prayer and holiness looks like and your level of offering that you're giving this over. So you'd want to take the whole problem and say, you take it on. I'm speaking to these guides, these goddesses and gods, the way that you feel holy. There's almost like a holiness disconnect that is available to you. I also hear a lot of like chanting and singing and like through your voice, opening up that
Mm,
chakra and hearing the vibration in your own lungs, like regardless of what you sound like. It's like going back to almost like I'm hearing your ancestors doing that of like, remember the holiness within you. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
You are so spot on. It is insane. You're good. I love this. As of this morning, literally someone's working on my website, and I was like, I don't want anything. I
mm,
told them last week. So as of this morning, all of that has been eliminated. All the noise has been removed, and you just see intuitive life coach. That's it. I break patterns. That's it. So yes to that. Relationship with holiness, yes to that. I hear it as well. We need you to spend more time, and I have been giving them my concerns. And I love chanting. I love mantra repetition. I do it every
yes.
religiously every day. I love it. I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, you're good. Spot on.
The chanting, there's something there, like chant louder, chant more, like this whole area, your whole vocal area, your jaw, all is ready
Yeah. Yeah.
to open up.
Yeah.
Um,
I just saw the courses you're talking about because just yesterday I signed up for some $1 something, which is like somatic movement through the body, like just moving. And I'm like, I feel I need that. And then throat singing, like, so literally these are the courses I was looking at, is what you picked up on. And yes, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, make sure you don't attach that to, and
Singing.
now I have a
Yeah.
certificate in this and moving and singing.
Nah.
I know you're hearing that, but that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
kind of bridge of like, this is for you.
yeah,
This is whole, sacred holiness. I'm
yeah.
also getting one really clear message too about the color on your website that you've moved past, and I love it. And
yes,
it's like the purple heart
Christina,
energy.
yes,
There's
yes,
like
I
the
got this too.
chakra, the deeper, richer colors, the deep red, the deep blue, the deep green. It's like bring in what the holiness of your culture and your ancestors, like what that looked like in the fabrics and in the temples or the, wherever it is. It's like there's this holiness that can shine through in your own
Mhm.
brand.
Sorry, so you're
Think,
saying I should move my brand towards the red, blues, greens, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm so over the yellow. I
great.
love it.
yes,
It
We're
is.
validating
yes.
that.
Thank you, Christina, for saying it. I was like, I don't really want to tell her that yellow's not working anymore for her.
I am for it. I hear you. I hear you.
A big message that I'm getting that they are sharing very loud and clearly is like, it's okay to pause for the clearing.
Yeah.
And it's probably necessary. And I don't mean a big pause, right? But like, can you give yourself space to, this clearing is very important. We just
Mhm.
told you every area of your life essentially needs some saging and some
Yeah,
clearing,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
I know you know exactly how to do it. But can you pause and give yourself some space for that? Maybe pause on the website redesign that you're doing. Like information is going to come in as you clear, and you need to make space for the right information. So they really want you to know,
Yeah.
please pause while you clear.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just
let me
I
just
took
still
a
this.
day off yesterday, but then it's never a day off when you're at home with kids and not everybody's home. But I was like, when can I travel? I just need to go and be alone in silence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so
craving it.
that's part of it. Your holiness is there's a creative expression that's missing of you going to your own, like traveling around, moving around, going to these spaces, looking at these fabrics, going back to sort of these like holy
Yeah,
roots of yours.
yeah,
And from there, you'll get an inspiration of like, why am I drawn to this color, or this thing, or this art, or whatever? It's like, go and take yourself on these holy dates with
right.
yourself to go just be inspired with no goal of like, I have to find my logo or my
Yeah,
colors. It's like,
Yes.
they're all around you. It's what you're
yeah.
going to be drawn to, and then it will be a mirror and reflection of you. And so that's kind of the final,
I love that.
wisdom from your spirited ancestors and guides.
Yes, the message on the pausing is not, you don't have to go away. I mean, you can, I encourage you, do. You deserve it, right? But it's, can you pause on output?
Mm.
Can you
Yeah.
pause on output while you
Okay.
do this clearing? It's
Okay.
very important. Like if there was one thing you took away from this conversation, it's like clear, cleanse, clear. We can talk offline about some tools to clear your energy and protect you um, with clients because that's very important. And I know that we care so much that we want to continue. It's us one session, two sessions, or three sessions. It's never enough. We want to help them. We see so much. But you do your work in the session. It's already enough work.
Yeah.
Clear yourself,
Yeah.
get in your own space,
Yeah.
and they'll come back as they need.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Okay. Any last messages, Christina, before we close out? Any last questions, Manisha?
No, I think you nailed it, ladies.
I mean, we got a lot of information very quickly for you. Your guides, everyone was waiting to bring in. So this was definitely meant to be. Thank you so much for trusting us to bring this wisdom to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I loved it. This was fun.
Yes, and
Yeah.
on a fun note,
Hmm.
question that we ask everyone, can you tell us, do you have a psychic party trick? And if so, what is it?
Well, I don't know if you'd consider this as a, well, two tricks. So one is just sitting with people and I just shut my eyes and I tell them, yeah, I can tell you what you're feeling. And I just go in and I can just see what's going on in their body, what's going on in their emotions. And then I just tell them exactly what it is. And that just like, how did you know? Are you reading? But I think the other more fun, cool one is, which everybody should try, is when I'm running late, I just ask my guides and angels to slow down time for me. And that always
Yes,
works. And it's so freaky that I just realized that, okay, it should take me, 10 minutes to get there, but it's only taken like two. How did that happen? And it actually
yes.
works. So that's a cool one. Yeah.
That is, thank you for sharing that. I do that sometimes too. And
Mhm.
it's like, or the person is like, oh, I'm running 10 minutes like you. Like, great. So was I, but I'm not going to tell you. And yeah, that's a fun
Exactly.
one. So playing with time, we should all do that.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. We can expand the day.
All right, Manisha, this was so lovely. We will link everything in the show notes so that people can find you and see the next iteration of you. Because Christina and I can definitely feel your power, and it's just about getting more organized and aligned with it, right?
Yeah. I hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I loved it so much.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks, Christina. Appreciate you both.
Thanks. Bye.